This is just me.
Just me.
Why there is no in between. This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. I state my dream, not in between. This ain't my scene, I beg my leave. My face ain't clean, this is just me. Some ways I lean, escaping green. No in between.
This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm.
No in between.
I know you have say what you're doing. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm gone. I'm gone. So this is just me. It's a sound, it's a style, it's a groove, it's a rhythm.
No in between.
I know you have to say what you're given. I'll move on, yeah, I'll move on. 1 minute, then I'm 1 minute, then I'm This is just me. A sound, a style, a groove, a rhythm. No in between. I know you have to say what you're given.
Right! Hello, fans and economic warriors. It is so good to be here with you again today with the whole coffee shop crew. This is the Coffee Shop Conversation Show where we get to answer real burning entrepreneurial questions. Our tribe members are here with us and they are experts in various fields. They are ready to give you their best answers with every single question that you throw at them. So this is going to be absolutely amazing. Just to remind you guys how this works, I will be asking and queuing the questions. So if you have a question that you want answered, you need to get it to me. Wherever you're watching live, you can just pop it in the comments and our crew will collect it and we'll definitely answer it for you. Other than that, when I ask the question, our tribe members will put on their heart emojis if they are happy to answer said question. Obviously, the more they speak, the more they show up in front of you, the more you get to know them and their best value. And that is how this whole thing works for all of us. Okay, cool. So, tribe members, are you ready? Awesome. Okay, fantastic. Here we go. Okay, so question number 1 is from Paula, and she is from Portugal. And she has a really, really interesting question. I actually got this question live from her because we met yesterday. She is a chemical and biological engineer, and she wants to know, how do I start a podcast? Awesome. Okay, cool. Let's do Mr. Super Sales and then Mr. Magic Marketing. Mr. Super Sales, how do I start a podcast?
Thanks for the question, and it's a really awesome one. There's a couple of ways that one would do it. At first, and great advice that was given to me that I'm implementing myself now is think long term. So what most people do, like if you're like me, you'd be like, oh, I got a great idea, and then you just start implementing, then you run out of steam. So after a couple of interviews. So what I would suggest is you can do something really simple. Get an app called Anchor, and if you want to keep it purely audio, and Anchor is great because it distributes to a whole lot of different systems like Spotify, Apple Music, Apple. You got a lot of other ones as well. Those are the two main big ones. and then you can literally record it from your phone, right? So you can, and whomever you're interviewing logs into the Audible app. I mean the Anchor app as well. So you're recording live, and that gets you going. So if you want to purely keep it audio, you can literally have that, and it's very cool because you can have an intro and you can have an outro, even all on the app. So you don't have to have any special goodies. And what I would do is I would think long term. So I would think literally 2 years ahead, as far ahead as you can, and start thinking about what do you want. You already know the topic, and or more around the area what you want to talk about. Start programming the people ahead of time. So just write everybody's name down, because not everybody's going to be available when you need them. So then you got a whole big list of topics, you got a whole big list of people, and then you start scheduling those people in time and space so that you know for the next however period of time you've got these people booked, and you use the app to create your content. So I hope that gets it. My name is Marlon August, and I'm part of Story Advantage.
Yay! Thank you, Marlon. That is an epic answer. I love that you not only answered like the technical, how do you start a podcast, but also the how do you get it to take off part, which is like absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much. I think a lot of us are so scared about starting a podcast that you don't really realize, just because it's published on the internet, it doesn't mean everyone's all of a sudden going to find you. You have to pay a lot of money to have people actually find you. Or not. Mr. Magic Marketing saying no.
But you need consistency, right? So that's why the longevity. Because I mean, I've got I had my podcast, but then I ran out of steam. And the thing is, people are still listening to those first episodes. They're finding it for the first time. You know what? Interesting story. I was watching just a clip on YouTube, and people are still finding the program Friends today. Right?
Wow! Really?
Yeah, and they're watching it from beginning to end. That's like so. Really, once it's on the internet, once it's posted, it's there for life. So someone could find it at any moment in time. The problem is when you stop, you lose momentum. So that's why plan long ahead, plan far ahead, and then once you've got that, and then you're in it for the next 2 to 3 years, because really that's what it takes to have something successful.
That is such a cool answer. Thank you so much, Mr. Super Sales. Okay, Mr. Magic Marketing.
Okay, I think Marlon's pretty much touched on everything, to be perfectly honest. I use Anchor. I don't record directly to Anchor. I record to Audacity, and then I edit down my recording, because I say quite a lot. I also have discovered that I say now and so between sentences when I'm trying to think of a connection. I'm just weird. But
what is Audacity, Stephen?
So,
just for those of us that aren't professional podcasters yet.
Audacity is a sound editing software. It's quite good, actually. It's very simple to use. I created my intro and outro on it. And you can just basically copy and paste that into your episodes whenever you record them. It's quite simple to use, and it uploads quite nicely to Anchor. I also upload to a couple of other places as well, such as my website and what's the other one that I do? It's a radio something. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But basically, Marlon's right. It's evergreen content. It's always going to be there, and people will come across it. When you're first starting, yes, you can start with just a phone, but when it comes to a podcast, people are listening for that sound quality. They're listening for high quality, engaging content. So it is important to have a plan. You can't just press record and then be like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to talk for 10 minutes until I can think of a topic to talk about. You have to put together.
Something I would do. Brian.
You have to be a bit more strategic with it. You have to think about what's important to the overall strategy that you want to implement. You have to think about what your overall goal for the podcast is. So I'm an author, I have a book, but I'm using my podcast as a way to further expand on some of the concepts that I discussed in that book. I'm also thinking I'm going to start interviewing every 10 episodes or so, just so I get some fresh perspective and can actually have a discussion with somebody rather than me just talking directly to the microphone for 30 minutes. So you have to have a clear goal. You have to be able to take it step by step and see it through to the end. Otherwise, like what happened to Marlon, you're going to run out of steam and then you're going to be like, okay, well, that was good while it lasted.
I do things like that all the time. I'm sorry.
I do have a question for Marlon, though. When did you stop your podcast?
Start or stop?
Stop.
It's about like 2 months ago.
Don't you think it's time for a relaunch?
Oh, 100%. I'm with you. Yeah. Definitely.
Let's have a Marlon's podcast relaunch party.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. That's an amazing excuse to have a party. We'll do it tomorrow, Marlon. We'll launch you right back out there.
No, we've got to build up momentum first. We've got to get people interested. We've got to get him some ambassadors to spread the word.
Oh my goodness, your strategic people are always just okay, just tell me when you're ready, then we do it.
We will. I'm Stephen Westwood. I'm SPW copywriting, author of Oh No, Not Another Goal Setting Book, and podcast host of I'll Take That Win.
Epic! Woohoo! Boom! I love that. Cool. Guys, I have the best question for you I think that we ever had on the show. So everyone send hearts to Naomi, but not right now because then I'm going to think you want to answer. But Naomi is your new best friend. Her question is, I would like to get some advice on becoming an influencer, using social media platforms to continue to advocate for the marginalized. I was told to follow other celebrity influencers. In the same vein, my question is, how does one get a celebrity to endorse their business / organization, events, and products? Okay. Shall we go with Stephen Westwood?
I think that is an absolutely fantastic question. I absolutely love the fact that you are quite clear in your goal. I love that.
I love that too.
The only part of the goal that I don't like is social media, but that's because I personally don't like social media. Whilst I'm on social media, hi. But the best way to get a celebrity to endorse is to either pay them or try and find a way to build a relationship, start trying to have conversations with them. Now, it is good to follow celebrity influencers because you can see what they're doing. It's basically scoping out the competition. But what you want to do is position yourself as a thought leader within your particular area. And you need people to follow you because they are believing in what you're selling or what you're saying. So, like I said, whilst it's good to follow celebrities, it's better for you to be where the people are that you want to attract and leverage your knowledge and your leadership to get them into your following. I'm Stephen Westwood. I will be done for now, but I might come back to this one.
I know you and Naomi are going to be best friends ever since, Stephen. I know.
Are you a best friend? Has Naomi done the quiz?
Naomi, have you taken the networking personality quiz? You have got to take it. I will pop it for you into the chat. Also, if you're watching live, it is in the description. Take the quiz. I'm thinking Naomi is either a Karen or a best friend. So let's see. Epic answer though. I know Stephen is going to be making friends because he's on an influencer mission himself.
I'm not
Mr.
trying to be an
Super Sales.
influencer. It just happens.
I know, Steven. Like, we just do it. We just accidentally create YouTube ads to get like 2,000 views. Just accidentally. Okay, Mr. Super Sales. What advice do you have for Naomi about becoming an influencer?
So I dropped it in the chat. Just remind me of the niche again, please.
No, Naomi, do you want to tell him? But basically, non-profit. But maybe Naomi can just speak a little bit about the details of that. Naomi, are you frozen? I think she's frozen for now.
I
Okay,
think
so
she's
I'll just
frozen,
let
yeah.
you know. Wait, she's back. Naomi, you have to unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry, I had networking problems, but I did see Marlon kind of asking what niche we were talking about, so I might help to give a little bit of background. so I have a social networking platform for what is a for impact social enterprise company. So my platform is basically a kindness sharing platform, which has charities on it, government, donors, general kind individuals who are sharing information, skills, knowledge, donations in an attempt to try and assist the 200,000 odd NGOs that are struggling in our country. So we're collaborating with the charities and the micro traders to create sustainability. So we've got really cool product, like this is one of this is the wire guys. But now we're using their art to make it more functional, and it's got LEDs in it, and it's now a load shedding solution, which is a problem in our country. So it's about taking billboard, something that would have been thrown away, and creating product, turning trash into cash. We're teaching people skills. We are in the epicenter of what is needed right now, because we're using technology to create these relationships and opportunities for charities to meet corporate, or charities to start making product, or to start we're inspiring, we're motivating, we're getting out of the mentality of silos, which is gender-based violence, gender-based violence, gender-based violence, gender-based violence, and like you're all doing the same thing. If you joined together, you'd move further quicker. And that's the kind of thing we're about, sharing and collaboration. So one of my, I don't want to say competitors, because she's even on my platform, so she's paying me as a client, but she's been doing it for a little bit longer, 5 years, and I'm only about a year and a bit. But she's got celebrities to now endorse this massive fundraising campaign, which is obviously going to drive it faster further and gives her credibility. But being young in that space, you need some push like that to go there, and certainly have made a lot of waves. And I'm not afraid to speak, and I do a lot of talks, but it's small fry, and I need to expand.
Okay, awesome. So I think so you're looking for the influencers to help you get more reach, right? So there's two components to that. I feel it's identifying those actual celebrities and then DMing the cock out of them until they absolutely they give in and they are like, I need to chat to this Naomi. I need to get back to her. So, because everyone, most people have an ego. It's even worse when you're a celebrity. So you want to get in front of them, DM them like crazy. Okay, that's number one. Number two, and then just get them interested, in the, because a lot of them have initiatives anyways. And I would probably do the reverse. Instead of trying to get them involved in your thing, speak to them about their thing, and see how you can collaborate to bring them onto your platform to get them further exposure, and by their extension, bring light to what they're doing. Does that make sense? Because they, like I said, ego, so they're already on their trip. So you don't want to say like, hey, look at my thing. You want to say like, I've noticed you're into this, and we have this unified goal of XYZ, and I'd like to collaborate with you in order to, you've got the reach, we've got the things, so together we could reach much further. It's going back to that your core message, but I'm just talking about the approach. So it's a lot of hard work on your end in terms of finding those people if you want that reach. The other one is do you know the Good News guy? Yeah. Have you ever been on that platform?
So it's Brent Lindicky.
Yes.
And so via networking, one of the ladies who knew him managed to get one of our initiatives onto his platform. So an article was written about something we did with a donor. But in terms of other ways or spaces, not necessarily written another article again. I think we're trying to, and I suppose it's another angle, and I liked what you were saying, is talking to corporate about the fact that we want to make their brand look good. So for instance, like with FNB, in the what are you doing for your environment, and what are you doing for your country while you're raking in all this money and people are starving? So for instance, Joko got power. If you spend money on Joko tea, they send some money to the Women Against Child Abuse type women abuse. I changed my tea brand when I saw that, because I've been using 5 Roses my whole life, and I was like, okay, well, Joko's doing something at least. And that's the kind of push to the brands to say, you don't look so good right now while you're raking in the money, but how about you look at creating some relationship or a product or to make them look good. But celebrities are also struggling. So it's not like they're raking in the money in this space and time to be using that tactic.
There are a lot of celebrities. Well, I would say the ones that are faking their real engagement, those are the ones that are suffering. But the ones that aren't, the ones that really are impacting their following, they're making a ton of money, a lot of money. So I would really look at trying to identify who are those people, not the ones with a big following, but the one with the more engaged following. Because there's a lot of research that's going into this whole thing of fake influencers. Like a lot of the guys now that I've seen, the best influencers are actually the ones that are not sitting there going, hey, look at this product. It's actually the ones where you can't identify whether they're selling something or not. It actually looks like they're consuming the product themselves because they would do it naturally, almost like you have just suggested. So with the whole Joko thing. So you want to be careful about who you play with and how. But I mean, like, I definitely agree, like being in as many platforms as possible. If you're going to go that route with corporate, obviously you kind of need an in, but then it's about really it's about them. So not that they're making, you can't speak to them like, you're making lots of money. What about when people are starving? It's like, it's more the angle of like, Joko made a ton of sales when they went that route. And you'd want to do something similar. And we've got all the charities that can actually help you get that, So you want more people on your platform. All of these people are paying attention to the charities that are on our platform. So join us. That type of thing makes a lot of sense to me. And then maybe just finding, I don't know if you've segmented it as such. It sounds like you have somewhat, so you know who to target. Is that right? You know who?
Yeah, I'm going to just show you something. So this is an example of one of the kind of collaborations in the. So this is once was billboard advert on the side of the road from FNB, and now they're supporting aged homes and ECD centers. So now they're giving us the billboard. We're then getting all the sewing initiatives to be sewing what is now product, like an apron for the old age home, because they mess a lot. It's got their branding on it. So it's that, how can they now take their product or their message to the ECD, look good, and also brand loyalty, because the kids are going to see FNB every day. So it's smart, but it makes everybody look good, and they're winning and we winning. So that's the kind of chatter we're having with corporate. And obviously, like FNB's got is ECDs, but RMB's arts and culture, and West Bank's working with agriculture. So there's a lot to navigate.
So you're identifying the corporates based on their corporate social responsibility missions. That's pretty cool. I like that.
And if you keep it in those silos, I think you'll slowly be able to pull them through. And if it makes any sense to them, they're always going to want to get involved.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I was thinking like what, because whenever like networking just works this way, like what does the other person want? If we can identify that and give that to them, then they're going to want to work with you. So, and I think like especially during this time where even influencers and celebrities are maybe struggling, like what does every single influencer want? More engaged fans, so that they can keep on being paid influencers, right? So if you could take that to them and say like, you know, if you can be seen to be involved with my brand, which is a very much a feel good, like look what we're doing, this is incredible type brand, like that is probably going to push their name out there just as much, right? So I would go with that angle. At the same time, it's fine to do it from a networking angle, but in terms of getting noticed, Stephen, let me do to you what you always do to me. Let me ask you a question live.
Go for it.
Do you offer any services that can get Naomi noticed by influencers?
So there is a few possibilities that I've actually been thinking about. I'm just creating a message to send to Naomi to arrange a meeting.
I know.
So obviously you've got your standard PR, press releases, that gets you noticed in the media, that will get your name out there. But then you've also got opportunities to perhaps look into blogger influencers, people who blog about this particular topic, because what you'll be doing is giving them an opportunity to have new content, fresh content, and they can signpost people towards you. You could look at industry specific publications as well and business specific publications. And basically, it's all about, as Marlon said, getting in people's faces and not moving until they say yes or block you, preferably the first.
Are you on Clubhouse, Naomi? Oh, cool. Are you guys connected, Marlon?
Not yet.
Okay, cool. After this, got it. Okay, and you can connect with Stephen there as well, Naomi, because I think the three of you are going to. By the way, when you guys find these influencers, bring them home to the tribe. Then we can just keep them here, and all of this will be a lot easier. We can just be like, "What do you want?" Okay, cool. So everyone put their mute buttons off at the same time. I don't know. Are we done talking about this topic? Because I have a really cool further question for you guys. You happy? Thank you so much for the awesome question, Naomi. That was really, really cool. Okay, now another amazing question that just came in on YouTube. You guys are going to all be over the moon for this question. So let's give some love for Cassandra from YouTube. She is asking, what does a business coach do, and do I need one? Please, not all the business coaches all at once. Okay, awesome. Mr. Levy.
Ernestine, yeah, that's a good question, and one that's been asked many times. So what does a business coach do? I think there are various types of business coaches. So they're very specific in their fields. There's strategic business coaches. There are people that coach around behavior in business. So there are specific leadership coaches. So it depends what you're looking for. And what they do is they actually generally they will guide and support people in business to get to where they want to go by seeing what they're not seeing. So it's not about being a master in the business that they're in. And often people ask me, are you a business coach? I say, no, I coach in business, because if I come coach your business, then you seriously got to have a look at yourself, because I don't know your business. The answer to does she need one is
Very short, yes. Everyone needs
Well,
one. I have a few.
The answer is, do you need one? Is, if you, I'm sure, I don't know if Cassandra knows of Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, Tiger Woods, Usain Bolt. Okay, they are the best in the world at what they do. Every one of them has a coach or more than one coach. And each of them are better at what they do than their coaches are. But their coaches also sit on the outsides, and as long as the coach has the client's interest at heart and can sit in that space, I think they can add immense value to their business. And generally the clients will have the answers, but it's what comes after that. And it's very important for a coach to have a relationship with a client that they're able to hold them accountable to what they're doing in terms of moving towards wherever they want to go. And the coaches shouldn't, if they're doing their job properly, shouldn't be scared to challenge any of their clients if it's in the interest of them achieving what they want to and what they're looking to achieve. So in answer to a question, yeah, I think everybody needs a coach. Not everybody's coachable. You've got to want to change. Somebody, if I just share with you, somebody asked me the other day, they said, the people that you're coaching or the businesses you're coaching, and what's wrong with them? I said, there's nothing. There's nothing wrong with them. I have a coach. I need it. I need it. If I want to really get to where I want to go, I need someone to guide me. We don't know everything. Yeah. And I think it comes, especially in the world that we're in today, where things are moving so quickly. We need other people more than ever before, especially now.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's very difficult to think clearly when you've got this intense pace of change and this overload of information hitting you every day. So even the leaders in business are, I would say, coaches, or should be, to their teams, and start working together. But I'm not going to go down that road because that's not the question she asked. So yeah, I think if she wants to, and I'm not going to use the word guarantee. I hate that word. Okay, it's my own personal thing. So if anybody else doesn't, that's cool. Because there are no guarantees in life. And if last year didn't teach us that, then I don't know what will. But I think with a coach is that it will create the highest probability of you getting to where you want to go. And they keep guiding you.
Did you see what Annalie put in the chat?
No.
Annalie says, if it wasn't for my coach, Stephen, I would still be in the dumps.
Annalie, you're so kind. You're so kind, but I must, in response to Annalie, but you know what Annalie did? And where she gets all the credit is because she did the work.
And I mean, like, it's amazing. Like, Annalie, oh my goodness, your jewelry business is just flying right now. I am like so blessed to have you in the tribe, and I'm so happy that Stephen is coaching you.
So she's realigned where she's going, So it's yeah, I think it's very important, Ernestine, and just that people understand. And sorry, I think it was Cassandra. Yeah, is that nobody comes in to fix your business, or yourself. Nobody needs fixing. We need to just see how we can become more of ourselves.
Explore ProTech wouldn't have made it, Cassandra, if we didn't have Mr. Levy on board. So that is also, like, he's been working closely with us since, like, for a very long time now. So in terms of business coaching, it makes, like, all the difference. He has a way of just cutting through all the crap and leaving you with just, the actual plan. Like, do this, then you'll be okay. It's amazing. So thank you, Stephen. Thank you for that answer.
Thank you.
Stephen Levy, dare to be coaching and beyond.
I always forget that. That's why I need a coach. And Karen, you should have come in and helped me.
Okay, next next up, we hear from Rita. So Rita, what does a business coach do, and do I need one?
Nistine, I just need to clarify, I am not a business coach. So I am a life coach, but a coach is a coach. And as Stephen said, we only guide. And my job is really to guide you to become that strong, balanced, powerful woman that I know you should be. And as Stephen said, if you don't want to walk that road, if you don't want to do the work, then I can stand on my head, Stephen can stand on his head, and absolutely nothing is going to happen. So my question to you is, how much do you want to change? Business-wise, personal-wise, how much do you want to change?
Thank you, Rita. That's awesome. Okay, guys, that's Rita Skuman from Coaching with Heart. Laying down the law. How much do you want to change? If you want to change, then you need a coach. It just makes it so much easier. Naomi, yes. What do you want to say?
I just wanted to say that you don't have to have one coach of I think I've got, and I like to call them mentors, and I'm mentoring other people and people are mentoring me, but it's finding what it is that you're lacking or the struggle. And one of those things for me was that I don't look after myself well. So having my own life coach is important for me and my business to continue, because if I'm gone right now, I'm holding most of it. So, and then there's the side of the legal, operational stuff that I have no idea about. I've got a qualification as a teacher and a social worker. I never did business anything. So knowing what needs to be compliant on that and those levels is where that person's helping me. Then I've got someone who's great at marketing, and he comes in and helps with an Instagram post or a Canva thing or something that else that I'm not good at. And each time you get to come to those people for that particular space. And I think that's what you need to look at, because you might not gel with this person and you're paying them money sometimes to come and do something, but you might need something else. So just to look at it as the mentoring can be 10, 12 people. It doesn't have to be one coach.
The more the merrier. I so agree. Thank you, Naomi. I mean, I'm in such a fortunate position. All of the experts that you see on the screen right now have been my coaches. They still are. I love you guys so much. No wonder I'm doing so well. Thank you. Okay. I want to give Miss Krief a chance to speak, but first I just want to quickly ask another question. Stephen, I have to do this to you because you always do this to me. You're actually so confident about your coaching, and you coach writers that you sometimes make the deal to say you can pay me when you start like actually having money, right? Because that's what your coaching is designed to do.
Yeah, I have been known to do that, especially if I believe in that particular person and I can see the potential. It's not something I offer everybody. You have to be very special to me. But I do get results.
That's why you need a coach, guys. I mean, oh wow, that is so cool. Miss Krief.
Yeah, I put a heart up because I like what Naomi said, but I'll answer anyway. And it's pretty much in the vein of, there's different people that do different things. So I also coach in the business space, in the individual space too, but a completely different way to what Stephen does. Yet both of us could touch in the leadership side. So it's very much dependent on your client, your niche that you're in, and what they're needing from you, what the person that's coming to you is actually looking for in their business. But in answer to, do you need it? Absolutely. Could you have more than one? Absolutely. I also have got a lot of, I call mine gurus, because I just love the fact that they are my gurus. And I also have a lot of them, but in different fields. So I think it's, you get generalized business. It just depends on what you need. And sometimes you work in collaboration, like we work in collaboration with one another. So if I do something and I get stuck, I can reach out to another coach and, we kind of synergistically make it happen. So it's definitely vital. And as Stephen said earlier, even the top sports people in the world have all got their coaches, so you never stop learning. And as long as you've got somebody to keep you on the track of learning, you just keep getting better and better every day. Yes, you need it ongoing.
Nestine, can I jump in here?
Karen
Please
from
do,
Fascinating
Rita.
7.
Yay! Thank you, Karen.
And here's the funny thing, that we as normal human beings think we don't need a coach. We don't need help. It's only those celebrities out there that need help. And it is just that help is not going to get to your front door. You have to ask it to get to your front door. You need to invite it in. And I think sometimes it's very difficult for us to say, I don't know, because it opens up my vulnerability that I don't know. But I don't know, and that's okay if I don't know. Just let it be.
I love that, Rita. I think especially in the startup space, and I think I'm going to unlock a whole tornado of conversation now. Especially in the startup space with entrepreneurs, it is so difficult to keep your self-confidence up. And I think that's what you kind of touched on now. Mr. Levy.
Yeah, Nestine, there was something that Naomi said that is very important. Okay, and I think Rita just touched on it. So there's generally two questions I'll ask prospective clients. Is they ask you for coaching for a specific reason because they want to achieve something, whatever that is, in business, personally, and so on. And I found, I'll share experience here. I asked them a question: is how much on a scale of 1 to 10 do you actually want to make the change? And 9 times out of 10, the answer comes out straight away. They say either it's a 10 or even a 12 or sometimes a 15, but they don't even think about it. And then the next question I ask them is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you prepared to do what it takes to make the change? And then the answer doesn't come out that quickly because they've got to think about it. And I think whatever we're doing to better ourselves, we need to understand it's a tough journey because we've been in a certain way for so many years or months or whatever. But we've created a habit because ultimately, if we bring it back to simplicity, that's what it is. And I need to change it. And to change it, it's not easy. The journey itself is not easy. And if you're not prepared to do what it takes to make the change, you're not going to get there. And there's a lot of excuses often, when they say, I want to implement, and then you often hear one of the big ones is, I don't have time.
It's guilty as charged.
Yeah. Listen, we all do that, guilty too. So that's why I have a coach who sits on me. So I think it's very important to know why they want to change. And do they understand what it takes to make that change?
Yeah. For me, Stephen, it's even speaking about change, I have no desire to change. Why would I want to change? That sounds terrible. But I like being me. Actually, it's safe here. At least it's known. But my favorite quote that I actually have on my wall, and I'm looking at it right now, says, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. That's my thing. I want more. I want what I wrote down with Stephen yesterday when he was doing goal-setting coaching with me. I want that life, I want those things. And then if I need to change in order to get that, I'm prepared to do it.
I think Nestine, understanding why, I know we've spoken about this before, and also being fortunate to have a lot of long chats with Karen, and she's awesome at what she does in her coaching. And I think this has come out, if you understand why you want to make the change. And I see a lot in business is that leaders want to make change, but they don't tell the people who they're expecting to make the change why they want to make They don't give them the reason why. So nobody understands why they're changing. And it's difficult as it is. But these are small things, that coaches will come out and ask those questions for you to unpack the answers that you have. We don't sit with the answers.
Mm. You just facilitate the process. I love it.
Yeah.
Karen, you look like you desperately want to say something. You're
How did
about
you
to
see
hit that
that?
hot button.
How did you see it before I pushed it?
And then I know Marlon has also been waiting patiently.
You wouldn't be able to play poker, Karen. You gave away the heart before you pushed it to it.
Not online, yeah. I wanted to say, what Stephen, what you said there about or changing in perspective. Sometimes, your coach, you think you know everything. They've got a different perspective on how to look at things. So they just make you think completely differently. I mean, Stephen, you and I have had sessions where, I thought this is my direction, this is what I'm doing. And Stephen just said like 2 or 3 things. And I was like, oh, wow. And all of a sudden it was, you don't see the wood for the trees because you're in your business all the time. And there's so many different aspects that you have to look at that sometimes you just don't have the time to actually really sit and think about it. And that's why you've got somebody there that can just pop these seeds in and then make sure that you actually act on it. That accountability partner is also very, very important because they keep you accountable. They keep you, yes, Stephen, I know I'm still getting back to you on some stuff, but that's, he does crack the whip, just saying, but yeah, it does. Everybody needs that because we get so bogged down in what we're doing. And, it's the important things like this that actually need us, that we need our focus. And I think that's what the business coaches are there for.
And Karen, I think it's also just what you said. Can we have a chat, Steve? Well, I'm going to chat anyway. So another way I'll ask you permission and then we're just going to chat. So it's important also, what you said is not to go in there and that we try and fix it. It's to try and see what we're not seeing. And it's very difficult for us to see it when we are heads in the box. So the mustn't look at coaches like these gurus and something else is what Naomi said is to be able to distinguish between a coach and a mentor. There is a difference, and a coach can show up as both. But it's very important for the coach, I think, or for the client to understand how are you showing up in that space. And when do you step into the mentor role, and you can only step into the mentor role when you've traveled that journey. So I think it's important for the clients also to ask the coach what informs them of their coaching.
I like that. Thank you, Stephen. So that was Stephen Levy, Dare to Be Coaching and Beyond. Marlon, you want to say something, but before you actually open your mouth, I just want to say you've been one of the most amazing coaches in my world. Like, I was so scared of marketing before I met you, and now I totally have a whole funnel, digital asset, whatever you want to call it, lead magnet. I still don't know what it is, but I have time again, and I'm enjoying my business again, and I'm getting to spend time on the stuff that I actually like doing, which is not marketing.
It is marketing. You like marketing now. You can.
Yeah, but that's because I don't need to do the crappy bits anymore because Marlon's thing does that for me. So Marlon, in terms of coaching, I think you're living proof that you've been one of the most amazing coaches involved in my journey. You're allowed to speak now, sir.
That is very sweet, Steve. Thank you. Everybody's covered everything, and I was actually quite excited because up until the last 2 things that Karen and Stephen said, they actually said the exact words and stuff that I wanted to say. I was so excited. Yeah, I can wait, and then they go and mention it. But really, it's around accountability and what Stephen was just talking about, which is understanding the difference between a mentor. So the question really was do I really need one? Mentor and a coach, right? And the problem with having too many coaches, I'm going to just give a different perspective, is that you're going to have all these different opinions and they're going to pull you from left to right. So choose somebody that I think, starting with a mentor that's gotten maybe in your industry, in your space, that has gotten what you want, and then connect to them. And then through that journey, you will start to learn and then they will even guide you, like, look, you're lacking in this space, and this is not my area. In fact, I've needed somebody else to lean on. So connecting that space with somebody else, and then you can go out and reach out. Maybe it might be the life coach, maybe it might be somebody, because life coach, the coaching aspect might be just process driven, and that's might, you know, be like, I know this little tactic that can help you just get that little level ahead. And then, but a mentor really has the road laid out ahead of you. They know, they've been where you are. So, and understanding that difference is really important when you're choosing somebody to be in that space, and who you listen, because who you listen to is really, really important, because that's energy that's exchanging there. So you want to make sure that that energy is exchanged well. So I think that's the only element that I'd like to add. Don't dilute yourself by putting this, oh, I need to do, I mean, that happens often. There's lots of thought leaders out there that have great information, but do you need to listen to all of them all the time? You need to listen to the ones that you can actually impact your life with right now. And like Rita and Stephen were saying, you know, are you willing to do that work? So if you do the work, you see the success, continue with them, you're going to get new learnings, take that, and then you move on with it. But, you know, like, being dispersed is not a great idea. So select one person, one area that you really want to work on, grab it, use it, make it work for you, and then start to expand from there. So that's my suggestion.
Thank you, Mr. Super Sales. Story advantage. Yes, Rita.
Can I jump in there? And I think what Marlon said is 100% correct. That if the coach see that this client in front of me needs something else that I don't have, that I can't give, that coach will direct the client in the correct direction, in the right direction. And that's where the networking comes from. You know, now we build up a whole bunch of coaches here, and we know who to send where. You know, and that's, if the coach is worth the money, then the coach will acknowledge, I don't know, and I will help you out there. I will direct you to someone who might be able to help you.
Can I just say,
I like that, Rita.
I just wanted to add to exactly what you said. I had that exact experience about a week ago where somebody came to me and I felt that they needed somebody else first. Even though I can help them, there's certain blockages and elements that they have that I knew they needed to get through that first before I can step in. And so I referred them there and I said, when you're done and you're ready with that, then come to me. I'll give you a little bit of things to help you in the meantime to get going. But when you're ready for that, then you can come back. And I think that's important because it comes down to, you know, Nestine, you put on the tribe, how to say no to a client, or, you know, whatever it is. It's very important because I want somebody to get the full benefit out of my program. And if they've got other areas that they're not sorted with yet, they're not going to get 100% from me. And I don't want to leave anybody with mediocre results. I want them to get full impact. So it's in my best interest as a coach to also refer forward so that I know when they're finished with me, they've actually been able to, you know, to get the whole result.
Amazing teamwork, people. I am going to have to cut you off because otherwise I know you're going to talk forever. But this has been so valuable. I think just something about our coaches, the way that you've got each other's backs and like you work together. Like if you come to any of our Explore ProTech coaches, like the chances of you leaving here without the proper value is literally zero because they know each other like inside and out so well. You can literally get marketing advice from the marketing coach. You can get writing coaching from the writing coach. You can get business coaching from the business coach. You get your communication coach from the communication coach. It's just life coaching from the life coach. It's just incredible. And I think just kudos to you for the way that you work together and refer people between each other as well, because I think that really sets you guys apart. Also as like a little flash team network of coaches on your own. So well done. Okay guys, that concludes the coffee shop conversation show for today. I hope you had so much fun. If you're just joining us, you might want to still watch it because today we answered the questions, how do I start a podcast? And then we also answered, how do I become an influencer or get influencers involved in marketing my business? And then what does a business coach do, and do I need one? So listen to that, maybe re-listen to the podcast version of it. If you haven't done our networking personality quiz yet, you have to do it, because Marlon's holding me accountable for people to do my quiz. And then also, it's a really fun thing to do. It also helps you to figure out what type of networker are you and how you're going to grow your business using your natural personality. Okay, so I will see all of you fabulous people same time next week, same place. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nestine.